Hello and welcome from Mexico City, where the teams are getting ready for today's practice session here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is F1 2018, and it's a manager challenge mode. Been a week 47 of the game of Decathlon, and we are set to wrap up season number 1 of this series. And meanwhile, I gotta try to hang on to my job long enough to get to the end of the season. As I'm actually in risk of losing my job, as things have been really difficult for me lately here. A number of races that I haven't done yet in F1 2018 in my other career mode. It's all kind of played out. So here I am at Mexico now, with just a few races to go in the season. Alright, so I'm making really good time so far. It's a really good opportunity to start saving up some that ERS there. They've added a lot of sausage curbs that I don't remember being there last season. This is my weakest part on this track, and yeah, that was actually really good through those sections. I'm almost about to hit purple, and I'm 1 second to the good, so looks like we are on our way to a purple, 100-point performance anyway. And there we go, there's purple. Good points to start this one out. I'm going to head on to qualifying pace next, as I feel like I'm making good pace, and when I raced here at F1 2017, I had pretty good pace outside of a couple quarters right there, that little rhythm section. Again, always hard on the gamepad, and I'm still on a gamepad for this episode, though very soon I will have a racing wheel. They've changed that corner from last year. Last year, that corner was really easy to make up a ton of time on. You could brake late, still get down to the pace that you needed. Alright, so I am gaining time at the moment, so I have faster pace than what is expected. That's good. But not a good sequence of a couple corners there. Time that I had gained is now gone. Back to right about level. And while I was about to say that was much better, it really wasn't. Figured since I was wide already, I'd stay wide and use that to my advantage. Didn't get in trouble for leaving track limits, that's good. There's the problem area for me. Again, not so good, but I'm still almost level here on time. At least for green, anyway. And there we go, back to green for the moment. Okay, that's green, that's green. It's not purple, but it's green. One more to go. Now, the car is really bad on fuel management right now. I'm doing a new upgrade that'll be ready next race weekend that should help with fuel management. If it comes through. But I think
So, we'd
I
like
need
to
to
run the
go for the
acclimatization program if you have a chance
acclimatization.
before qualifying. It'll give us a good indication
Should
of our
be able to
relative
get
pace
green on
and
this.
consistency.
I don't think I'm going to get purple. There's definitely some apexes, but I'm not going to have to push this lap as hard at all. Alright, good so far. We're braking a little late here, so brake a little sooner. Alright, one green and all purples so far. Whew, oversteer. Came out of it though. Here's my difficult section. I'd rather take it green than get a red. Actually ended up with all purples besides the one green, so we got a chance at purple here. That should do it. Purple, yes. All right.
This is a really strong foundation.
All right. Excellent, excellent start. If you're new to this challenge mode, this manager mode, this is very hands-off. So what I'm doing here is 3 flying laps. That's all I get. I got 2 purples. I got 3 greens. That is all but 30 points that I could have grabbed in these sessions. Plus, I got all 25 team objective points. So a 235 is an excellent score. With that, we move on to qualifying, and I was fastest in that stage. Of course, I'm the only one on those hypersofts besides Magnussen and Gasly.
Practice times are on the
So 3 flying laps is all I get in practice, then 1 shot qualifying, and then finally a simulated race. So it's all about developing the team on limited R&D points, and those limited R&D points coming in a very difficult and challenging way where you don't have time to prep, you don't have time to prepare, you can't run a bunch of laps. I can't even do an out lap to prep for those flying laps. It's straight into the flying lap, so it's bang, 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 quick action, and that's 486 points. You can see how close I got to getting fired after I had like 3 failed goals right in a row and messed up qualifying myself. Really got into some trouble there in Japan and the USA, even though I actually did well in the USA, but things didn't go too well for me. Alright, so on to qualifying. I need a good result here and in this race, meaning 19th or better really in both, to boost that reputation up a bit so I do not see myself fired. As right now, I think I would probably be fired.
For tomorrow's Grand Prix.
Alright, we're going to go straight to the track. See, it's a bit smoggy today. Okay, there's the Ferrari pace pulling away from me a bit. But through some early braking, I thought I was in second, not first. Threw it off a little bit. Hamilton now on top through those first few corners. And just pulled away from me like I was standing still. that wide corner again after making that mistake. They don't seem to be nabbing me for track limits on that, so might as well make use of it. And while that wasn't the best I've ever got through that rhythm section, considering how I normally do, wasn't too bad. Especially for only having gone around this track a few times. I'm definitely not too far behind the leaders on this.
Good work.
15th. Okay, 15th. I actually thought I was going to be a little higher. I thought I might be top 12, but 15th is good. Leclerc's 13th,
Here's a
so
look at your top three.
Hamilton starting on pole.
Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo. With qualifying complete,
I'm
all
ahead
that
of both
remains is the
McLarens
main
and a
event.
Haas.
We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Alright, well, team objective met by qualifying 15th, so that's good. And then hopefully we can throw in a decent race result. Because I need that rep boost massively. So Leclerc has won all 3 rivalries so far and continues in that trend. And meanwhile, Brendan Hartley has just about nabbed me here, as this challenge mode has been definitely challenging so far. 130 points there, though. That's a good boost. 616 now. Come on, team boost. Oh, you should have boosted more than that. Seriously? I qualified on pole before and didn't even see much of an increase. My team does not like me. They really hate my guts.
All right. I think we can call that a successful qualifying.
Can we call it a successful race finally? Let's see. What do we get? What do we get? Come on!
It's a good result for Sebastian
Leclerc
Vettel,
gets 14th.
who moves
Raikkonen
further
wins.
ahead at the top of the table. Moving on to the driver of the day
19th.
then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Every race,
Well, after a
19.
drive like that, it's
This
got
is
to
the
be
same
Max
every
Verstappen,
race. I'm
isn't it?
1 lap
Very
down,
clean, very
Stroll's 2
smooth.
laps
You can
down,
be
sometimes
really pleased with
Sorokin.
that one. On to the constructors then. Ferrari extend their lead at the top of the championship. That's it for today's
Hamilton,
Grand
Bottas,
Prix.
5th and
From
6th.
Anthony, it's goodbye,
So, tough day for
and
them.
See you again next time.
And that should seal the title now for Vettel. So it looks like Vettel has won the championship because there should be 2 races left. And as always, I'm always behind these guys every time. So it's been rough. Team rep goes up a bit. That's good. And we move on to the next race weekend. We'll see what happens with that upgrade.
We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week.
Not so
The
good.
entire development package for this weekend has failed. Check your workstation for the details.
There it is. Fuel consumption has failed, so we're going to have to spend points to get that back. Looks like we're in for a dry and wet race weekend, but the qualifying looks to be
I've been in touch
dry.
with some contacts at Williams, and they think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their team. We can
Alright,
talk
there's
to
our
them at
failed
our next
upgrade,
contract
280.
review if you're interested. Let's see what kind of offer they can put on the table.
Alright, well, that'll be the last upgrade of the season also, as we are still caught between a rock and a hard place. And Williams is that rock, and everybody else is a hard place to overtake. Red Bull Toro Rosso has actually overtaken the McLaren F1 team. So McLaren down there just above us, and that's pretty realistic to real life now on where these teams are.
rain is falling in Sao Paulo, but worry not, the show will go on.
Oh boy.
And today's free practice session continues unabated. We're about to get the weekend underway here at Interlagos.
Alright, so we head to Brazil. What tires? I'm on the wets. So if I'm on full wets, if I can keep enough traction, the track acclimatization is actually pretty easy if you could keep traction. So I'm going to try the track acclimatization on the full wets. Hopefully I can maintain enough traction to get through this, because the times are pretty slow on this program. That was pretty good through there. Yeah, I'm not slipping too much. So on these full wets, I'm keeping a pretty decent amount of grip. I say that as I nearly go into the wall. This rain is falling quite hard here. Oh, come on, really? It was without the oversteer. It was just the engine braking didn't do enough to help. I was on the brakes at the right time. It felt right. It's just as it went on, I didn't quite shave off enough speed. Ooh, there's the oversteer. Oh, and I get double reds even though I go straight through the middle because I was too slow because of the oversteer. And now, with grass on these tires, I can't even drive straight at all. I drive slow enough to bring out the yellow, and I'm getting nothing but reds here as I go on, as I'm sliding all over the place now. What happened to the pace I was able to maintain just a half lap ago? I mean, that grass has got to be long gone, but I've got no traction whatsoever now, and every corner is playing in the slip and slide. Put on my bathing suit to get around the next lap. I'm going to run lap number 2 right away. And try again.
We're slow through the following corners.
Again! It's just like all of a sudden it just dips so tight to the apex compared to what you're doing on the tracker. Like, I'm right in the middle of the tracker and all of a sudden the apex is way tighter than where you're at. So, another bad performance there on the same corner as before, but so far much better here. I'm not as hard on the gas. It's getting me a couple of greens instead of purples. Having a much better lap here. There's the oversteer. I do save it that time though. It does cost me a purple. Makes it a green, but at least it's not the reds that I was getting before. Woo! Nearly lost it there and actually still ended up getting purple. Oh, that time I thought I was okay, at least on the edge. I knew I wasn't looking at a purple corner, but I thought I had green at least. I put 2 wheels through it. Oversteer that time causes me to miss that one. This is the other area that I gotta be really careful of. There we go, we're around safely. Was that enough? Was that wasn't enough. That still wasn't enough. That still wasn't enough. 2 flying laps, and I can't even get green. Definitely going for the ERS for the final one. Flying lap. So the rain is costing me everything here. Those were 2 okay laps, especially for in the wet like this. But there's the problem. I'm in the wet like this, and it's like they're clamoring for perfection when there's no perfection right now. It's a monsoon here in Interlagos. I'm struggling to keep grip right now. Oh, now I hit it. Three-tenths of a second to the good. Into the green. 4/10 of a second to the good now. Let's see, I lost a lot in there. And I lost 8/10 of a second in one corner. Just because of a little oversteer. I lost 8/10 of a second. Wow.
We're expecting the rain to get better in around 5 minutes. Light rain in 5
Back to
minutes
green
time.
though. Not again. I'm not overdriving here. Well, there goes my chance. Yeah, I'm a full second down now. I'm getting none of them.
That lap was too slow. You need to find more speed.
Not gonna find any more speed because that's 3 flying laps and no points earned. I might not even get to see the end of the season. We might be starting new season anew without even getting to see the drop of AI difficulty level, which will happen in between the seasons. As I've clearly outdone myself on an 80. Especially when my AI doesn't seem to care what qualifying position I have. It doesn't seem to take that into account whatsoever. I mean, they just finish wherever they finish. Alright, so on to qualifying on a track that I haven't even run a dry lap in. So that could be a factor here.
Welcome to
We're going to jump right
qualifying
into
here
it.
in Interlagos as the cars are readying up.
Ow! All over the place here. This is very different than I remember. It was pretty good through those turns in the F1 2017 game. Oh!
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
So what happened there is I just had a stinker. No, full speed, flat out corner, but
So
as always, the
qualifying is
gamepad,
complete and we're all set for an
you pull the
exciting race
joystick so
tomorrow.
far,
Your top
but you can't
three
pull it
are
further.
Hamilton,
Like,
Vettel, and Kimi Raikkonen.
if you're
Goodbye
in
for
that
now
neutral
then,
zone,
but
it's
we're
really hard to
just
keep it
getting started.
right
Make
in
sure
that
to
happy
join us
zone.
again for Lights
So
Out
I get out of the
tomorrow.
happy zone, I get back in the happy zone, I get out of the happy zone, I get back in the happy zone, and then I touch curb, and around I go. So that was just joystick management of trying to keep it in the happy zone and couldn't. So Leclerc's 15, so I think my job's gone. I don't think I'm even going to get the final race.
Amazing performance
What?
out there. You must be really happy. How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
You can see how hard they're working.
Do you think that you learned a lot from your rivalry?
Handling. Okay.
Appreciate your time.
Looks like I'm about to lose the Hartley rivalry as well. So, ouch. Ouch, ouch. This has not been a good end to the season at all. Oh yeah, there you go, Hartley. There's 30 points. So with that rivalry lost, and the fact that I just crashed out in qualifying, I think this is going to be it. We're going to see a very angry Emma soon. Look at that rep drop.
That was a nasty incident. Glad to see you're no worse for wear.
It's a good result for Sebastian Vettel, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. And now I'd like to ask
18th.
you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'm going to say Carlos Sainz. It was probably one of his best drives this season, and I was thoroughly impressed.
Okay, moment of truth coming up here in a moment. Will I be fired on this one and I have to start the series over? We'll see. Well, rep goes up a little bit for finishing 18th. It's still low enough that I could get fired. So we'll see.
We've received invitations to new historic events. You'll be able to choose whether or not to participate before the end of this weekend.
Okay, we
Still
had the new
alive.
parts come
Still
through
alive,
from the
huh?
factory. We'll get them on the car ahead of FP1.
Okay, so fuel consumption upgrade is complete. We have dipped behind Toro Rosso. Wow, they have just flown up the charts here. McLaren moving up. We've moved up some. Williams gained some ground on us last week. We're still very much at the bottom.
I've been in touch with some contacts at Williams, and they think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their team. We can talk to them at our next contract review if you're interested. Let's see what kind of offer they can put on the table.
All right, so I don't want to touch chassis or aero department. They are covered for next season. That could give us a boost, and I have just enough points to get something for the engine. Let's see, ERS, basic engine power, or another fuel consumption upgrade. Why don't we go with the engine power? That would be ready by the beginning of next season. If I'm still alive for next season. If the team gives me the invite to come back, we'll see. Last race. Yas Marina.
Welcome to Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, where the temperatures and humidity are high and conditions will be tough for the drivers. So what challenges?
So, Abu Dhabi for the final race.
Carl
Free
probably
practice
mentioned the new
sessions.
parts that have come in from the factory. Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
Alright, fuel management's one of those new upgrades, so I actually am eager to try it. So we're going to do ERS management first. So I've had a bit more success there than the track acclimatization of late. Especially not having driven any of these final races of the season in career mode yet in F1 2018. It's all a little different, plays a little different than 2017 did. Alright, we are underway. Ooh, snap of oversteer there. Recovered nicely enough. And we're in the green by 0.7 of a second. And we're also in the green on the ERS management here. I'm actually still gaining a little bit, really staying the same, while picking up a whole lot of ERS bonus. So that was a really, really good section there for me. Oh, where am I going? Losing a little bit of time through here as I haven't driven this in so long, but doing enough, finding enough pace. Losing, like I said, just that little bit of time. We got enough in the bank that we easily got purple on this one. Oh, that's a really good lap for me. So we open up with a purple here in the final practice session of the season. I'm going to go ahead and do the fuel management and see how the car is doing on that. Hopefully it's managing the fuel a bit better than before, and not just straight line losing fuel because of our bad consumption. Alright, so it is hovering in a stationary line a little bit better. That was a really bad first corner though, because I was looking at the top. We are in the red so far though. Oh. So 3/10 off the pace and in the red. So not a good start here, but I'm picking up the pace now. We're hovering back towards green. There we go. We're back in the green now. But I'm still in the red on the management side. So we need to definitely lift and coast like there. And there. Okay, 1/10 to the good, but I'm still in the red, so I need to get that to the green. There's another opportunity. That was good, and included some coasting, so we're into the green now. 0.2 of a second to the good. It's still pretty tight on whether we're going to get green here or not, but still hovering right around that edge. 1/10 of a second, and oh, got green. I had to lift off a little, but we got green. We got green. So not a perfect lap, but enough. Did enough. Okay, qualifying pace will be the last one. Last flying lap of a practice session this season. And I just about kept my job for the whole year. Alright, the last part of that lap was a lot better. Hopefully I can manage that kind of time here. Did have to lift just a little bit there, but I'm still almost 3/10 of a second to the good, so. Whoa, whoa, massive oversteer, massive oversteer. I save it, but I lose at least 0.4 of a second, though I get a good exit out of that turn after recovering from that oversteer, and at least get back to level, though I'm not holding it. Didn't quite have the pace I needed there. Two-tenths of a second off, 3/10 of a second off. Good rhythm here. It's a good rhythm section. Still 2/10 of a second down though. It's gonna be tight. Oh, I hit the bollard. I hit the bollard.
Are you alright? Engine
Oh,
off. Engine off.
I hit the bollard and had a little bit of understeer, partially from hitting the bollard, partially from taking the corner too hot, trying to pick up that 1/10 of a second I needed. Didn't know that the wall was going to come in at me like that. If there was no wall there, I just would have caught a little curb and been fine. I would have gained the 1/10 of a second, and instead, goodbye, right front tire. Oh man, that's a lot of session retirements here late in the season. No wonder my team
An
hates me.
interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top 3.
I was just fighting for that last tenth of a second. Tried to force it out of that corner. And if that wall didn't come in, I would have had it. I mean, I just about successfully pieced it together, but the wall jumped out and bit me hard. 210 points. Team rep stays the same at least.
I'm
That's
glad you're
lucky.
not hurt, but that's a lot of damage for us to fix up to get you out for the next
Yeah.
session.
You got till qualifying to get it sorted out. Plenty of time. There you go. All right, last hot lap of the year.
Here we are at the beautiful Yas Marina circuit where qualifying is about to begin. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the action. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions.
All right, well, here we go. Go to the track, final time. Obviously, I'm not going to fight for that last 1/10 of a second this time around, as I'll get what I get out of the lap. I definitely want to get to the end of this lap and not DNF my way to end the season. The ability to keep it in through there definitely helps me. Lost just a little bit there. See, I'm still right about there, but that turn, terrible exit. And I really lost a lot of time. Dang. That momentary loss of grip absolutely just cost me 0.3 of a second. Or more. That might have been half a second. That wasn't a very good corner either, so I am letting myself down at the moment here. Not a very good lap time. Have to make up for it. Oh, that was good. I've actually gained some ground on the leader here. Ooh, oversteer, but I saved it. There we go, I didn't push that extra little bit there. Another snap of oversteer. A lot of oversteer on this track, but I'm just about enough to get through there. I don't know what kind of time that's going to be.
Nice job.
18th. That one little section where I lost half a second. Let's see what difference a half a second is. One corner, little snap of oversteer, lost that traction, ended up losing a half a second because you really needed to get on it there. Half a second would have been 15th. Not a big change in position.
And until then, it's goodbye.
So Hamilton on pole. And here we go, final race of the season. Team only has 4 points for the whole year, all from Leclerc. 2 ninth place finishes from him. Oh, I have no rival right now. That's okay. Rivals haven't been good for me of late. Little boost to the team there. That's good.
Well done. Very solid results.
All right,
You're
here we
looking
go.
good for the
Final
race.
race of the year. We'll see the
It
results.
wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced.
Hamilton
Now
wins
then,
from the
Anthony
pole.
Davidson, who
Vettel
was your
started
driver of the
18th.
day?
I'm going to go for Sebastian Vettel. People have suggested before that he can't race
Grid
wheel to wheel,
penalties.
but as he showed today, it's nonsense.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again.
Oh, and I get last place? Really? From 14th, I get last on just 2 stops. A 2-stopper. Look at that. Everybody else is a 3 or 4 stopper. I have a 2-stopper and finish in last. How did that happen? Jeez. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, final standings. Vettel, Drivers' Champion, fighting at 49 points over Hamilton with Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Bottas, and Verstappen. So Ricciardo overtook Bottas there at the end as well to get P4 in the championship. Hulkenberg gets best of the rest with his teammate Sainz behind him. Alonso in 9th. Perez, Ocon, Magnussen, Grosjean, and Leclerc round out the points. 15th on down, all of us go without points this season. Gasly, Van Dorn, Hartley, myself, Stroll, and Sorokin. Not one of us ever got into the top 10 this season. Average finish puts me around P18 in the championship standings. And in the constructors, we do get 8th place, with Williams and Toro Rosso both going scoreless. Resource points. End of season bonus 491. That's good. Session total 522. That's 926 now. Never finished 16th or better. That was such an attainable goal. And yet, the AI really let me down this season. And that's going to get me fired. That got me fired, that team goal. I have a feeling. Oh yeah, here's Emma.
I think seeing as it's the end of the season, now is a good time to talk about your less than ideal record this year. My job is to negotiate on your behalf, but you're not giving me much to work with here. Plus, this isn't exactly doing my career any good. So I need you to shape up, for both our sakes.
Alright, so I'm going to be moving on to a new team for next season. But you're going to have to wait next week to see who that is. And I'll be resetting things, getting ready as we go forward. So I made it through the full season with Sauber, but their end of season evaluation was not good. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.